Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the 2018 Baggataway Cup here at the University of Toronto's Varsity Stadium. I am Stephen Stamp, joined by Pat Gregoire. Thanks for joining us on Lacrosse TV. It is 5-1 for the Western Mustangs over the McGill Redmen as we are set to start this third quarter of the second semifinal. Tomorrow, the championship game, also live on Lacrosse TV at 1 p.m. The winner of this game against the Brock Badgers, who won a thriller a little while ago. Interesting, Keegan Crowley, as Vercosi wins that faceoff to himself. Keegan Crowley came out of the change room about 3 minutes before his teammates. I was watching him walk across the back of the end zone. I kept looking to see where the rest of the Mustangs were, but he was just out working with his stick, doing some stretching, rolling on a lacrosse ball a bit, I think just trying to get himself loose and ready to go. Just very interesting to see the one player kind of head out onto the field. McGill with possession. Nick Ferris will lob it down into the corner. There's Tequila. Back to Ferris. They come to the near side to Rowan Kelly, who set up that last second goal by that man, Cody Ward. The brilliant behind the back finish. Simeone to the far side to Tequila. Ferris will set a little pick for him. Plant gets by it. The give, but no go. But now it comes back to Tequila. Cole Davis with 3 goals for the Mustangs to start things off. That ball pops loose. Gallo pounces on it. See what kind of start McGill can get as they get their first possession of the second half. All kinds of ride pressure on Connor Plant. He's just going to go back. And Michael Gallo will try and move the ball ahead. Oh, that looked like the wind affected that pass. It is really gusting. It's picked up as the second half starts going. And that ball just kind of got away from Paul Rougeau, and Western will take possession. And, boy, you can't afford to have that kind of more or less unforced error. But we've talked about how Western, wherever you are in the field, they're putting some pressure on you.
Yeah, absolutely. They certainly are. It's actually remarkable how well they've had a ride defense, or their offensive players, their attackmen, their midfielders. They all just pressure the ball so well.
Cody Ward stripped there by Ryan Hebert, but he gets the ball back himself. They're going to isolate. Everyone cleared out. Not another Western player on this side of the field. And it's going to be Ward and Hebert. Runs into some space, shoots on the run. Gallo got just a bit of that. Oh, and it looks like it's going to head out of bounds. No, it's kept in. Nice effort by Patrick Gamble, but it goes to Bolsterly. But there again is the ride. Michael Byrne working hard. Great job by Bolsterly to protect the ball and get out of trouble. And then more pressure. Tequila on the goaltender Gallo. And that's a great catch by Brendan Mullen to maintain possession. Byrne loses his stick on the wrap check attempt on Obadia, who's now running through John Kitt. Kitt staying tough with him. Boy, if you're McGill, you never get a chance to just breathe and just set up a play. Here's one of the longest times they haven't had pressure on in the entire game right here. McKay from the top lobs it down. McDonald gets a little pick from Murdoch. Obadia. Oh, sorry, that's Campbell. Chase is repelled. Austin Haber right on top of him as they switch effectively, Western does. Haber tries the corkscrew check. Can't get it away from Chase, but maintains his positioning. Digging in there again. Chase just protects the ball. Makes the pass across. They come to Max Murdoch. There's a shot on the run by McDonald. It snuck through Najjar, but rolled out the far side. It's going to go out of play off a McGill defender. Off a Western defender, and McGill will get it back. One of the Western coaches rolls it back over to start play. We were looking at the sheet before the game. Jeremy Talevi, 19th season with Western. That's unbelievable. Always, I mean, respect so much the job he does coaching this team. Always so open and available with us for media when we need him for media stuff. Really enjoy talking to him about the game. There's a great strip as McGill just ran into trouble, and there's lots of it coming, and there just wasn't really any help available because Western closed so quickly.
It was one of the longest possessions that McGill has. Nothing coming of it, but slowly they're building some momentum offensively. It's just haven't been able to solve this stout defense, and Manny Najjar only once.
And it is only 4 goals. There's lots of time left.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a little unnerving when you're now, 45 minutes and change in, and you've only got 1 goal. Behind the back pass to Ward. Tries to feed it through. It's tipped away by Connor Plant. If that goes out, it will be Western possession. Oh, great hustle by Bolsterley to try and keep it in. Didn't quite get there in time, and the Mustangs will control the ball. Near side to Kelly. Starts to dodge down low, gets back up over the top. He and Davis running a little 2-man game, but Davis didn't have anywhere to go. Ward cuts to the back door, but the ball's on the ground, picked up by Plant. He's going to try and run it out of trouble. Now he'll lob it ahead. Nice pass up. And Rougeau calmly gets it across. McGill will set up in the offensive zone again as Ryan Hebert gives it up. And Obadia is going to go for a trot down low. Oh, puts on the brakes. We've seen a lot of roll passes. I mean, you're going to see some roll passes in the game, but I feel like with the wind, players just being pretty calm about just rolling the ball over sometimes rather than letting the wind become a factor. Zawada spins and gets it back up top. Ian McLeod. There's Zawada, watched by Haber. Campbell. Oh, off the far post. Great little move to get the shot off. Now Cougar Kirby. That one stopped by Najjar. 2 great chances for the Redmen. Then the pass ahead to Crowley. Takes him a couple tries, but he gets it. All kinds of movement with the ball, and they get the shot off, but Simeone's shot is blocked. Where I saw Cougar Kirby heading down towards Jonathan Tekiwa and thought he just might flatten him. Kirby does like to throw the big hits. Sometimes a little after you're really allowed to do so. Ferris is going to leave it and let William Carndiff set up on O. Haber at the top. Western can be patient. They'll bring it to Carndiff on the near side. Tekiwa immediately down to Simeone. Michael Byrne picked up by Brendan Byrne again. That brother-on-brother matchup. Illegal pick. And McGill will get possession. Here comes Brendan Byrne. Brendan in second year, an undeclared arts major right now for the Toronto native. His brother Michael in the BMLOS program at Western, of course. Literally almost a third of the team, probably a quarter of the team is in that program. Maybe close to a third. Nice run there by Patrick Gamble to just go straight through traffic. A little bull dodge, but then he gets stripped. Here comes Chase the other way. I was wondering what, behind the play, Brendan Mullen looked like he was picking up the ball. I think it was his mouth guard that came out. He went to pick it up. He had to go and grab it. It was some part of his equipment anyway, but it looked like he was going for a ground ball. I was sure that Chase had the ball ahead. Meanwhile, Western gets it back. And a heads-up little play by Carndiff to calmly find the open man, John Kitt, on the near side. He gets ahead to Cody Ward, and Kitt will go back over center. Ward watched by Baldwin. Taking their time. Kelly watched by Plant. Ferris is back out there with the attack. Fighting through the check from Hebert. Kelly steps back and tosses. There's Simeone. Sorry, Tequila. Feet slip out from under him. We saw a fair bit of that yesterday with all the rain that was going on. Not so much today. That pass is a bit excessive. Oh, what an effort by Obadia, but he just stepped on the line. And if he'd been able to keep that 1 foot in bounds as he grabbed that ball, he actually could have saved that ball, but it was pretty tough at the speed he was going.
Yeah, that would be almost impossible to do, to be able to stop on a dime, get that ball, but nonetheless, a great hustle play from arguably your most skilled position player on this team. Talked about the Byrne brothers, two other St. Mike's grads. A lot of St. Mike's grads on both of these rosters.
Mm-hmm. Quite a program. They've been producing players for years. Swim move. Loading up like he was going to shoot was Cardiff. He's going to move it down below the GLE instead. Now it comes back to him. Ward. Skip pass low. Scooped up by Tequila. He'll shoot the jumper and buries it. Jump shot high to low. Changes the plane and beats Gallo. 6-1. Western pulls a little bit further ahead in the twilight.
Gorgeous goal from Tequila. Just a little shake and bake dodge. Creates that space and throws the jumper. A massive goal to continue to extend this lead. Tequila, just 8 goals and 6 assists on the year, but that is a goal scorer's goal.
Boy, you mentioned earlier, I can't remember, I think I may have said it was McGill that had the 154 goals and 56 against. Is Western. McGill had 127 goals in the regular season, 81 that they allowed. Drive to the net by Riccozzi, but that's stopped by Gallo. But the Mustangs, the ones who scored 154 goals in the regular season, allowed just 56. That's almost 3 times as many goals. It works out to about 2.8 times as many goals that they've scored as allowed.
Wow.
And you can see why, because they've got guys who can play all over the field.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for a weak spot in the Mustangs, I'm not sure. You'd have to look pretty hard to find one. I'm not sure where it is. McGill needs to find a spot where they can pierce the Mustangs' armor if they're going to get back in this one. It's 6-1, and we are 53 minutes into the game. That shot by Kelly off the post came out hot, snagged there by Bolsterly. Adroitly avoids the pressure. The pass back to Gallo, and he will find the open man. Skips away for a moment from Rougeau. Gets it to Plant. Elects to run it through pressure and clears. Nice job by Plant. Then just shovels it over, and we'll let McDonald go to work. McGill still changing up, getting the rest of their attacking group out there. Now they will set up at the top as Kieran McKay takes it, throws it back down to McDonald. Just not a lot open for McGill. We've talked about that defensive unit of Western, so cohesive. Play their system so well, so intelligently. Oh, behind the back attempt. Nice effort by Chase, but he missed it. Just got the angle a little too sharp. It's going to be tracked down by McDonald. 6 minutes to go here in the third. I'm Stephen Stamp with Pat Gregoire. This is Lacrosse TV's presentation of the 2018 Baggataway Cup. Spinning shot there, goes a little bit wide from the stick of Kieran McKay. Another chance for McGill. They're starting to generate some opportunities. Obadia fighting out against Nix. Jumps and shoots. It's going to be tracked down by Patrick Turner. There's a bit of a shortage of balls along that side of the end line. There's one of the Volunteers tracking them down, but just a few in quick succession. And they need to get that repopulated, restocked. Murdoch with a little pick for McDonald. Chase watched by Crowley. Fights through, tries to get the shot off. I think Crowley got onto the hand, knocked it off a bit, but that one also just slipped away a little bit, I think, from Chase.
A little bit of a combo of both, but Crowley definitely getting enough to deter that shot from hitting the cage.
McKay down to McDonald. What a defensive posture by Austin Haber. And then Byrne comes to finish it off. Haber running the field. Just leans back, initiates contact, putting his shoulder into McKay, but wound up losing the ball as he did so. And McGill pounces on it. That's Chase passing it back to Rougeau. Rougeau will accept the return pass from Baldwin. In a low-scoring game, McGill trying to generate some offense. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hunter Zawada. Tried a shot at a sharp angle. Cougar Kirby will go and pick up a ball. That original shot is rolling back into play. It bounced off a wall just underneath us and to the right. So Cougar Kirby, quite aware, sees that ball coming. They stop things up before play's blown in and get it out of the way. Kirby on the back line. Crowley on him. Zawada, watched by Byrne. The Montreal stack spreads out. The pass doesn't connect. It's tracked down. Kirby has a little trouble finding the handle, but gets it. That shot stopped by Najjar. Here's Byrne on the run. They've got numbers if he can stay ahead of Kirby. Off to Tequila. Down low. Finish. Cody Ward. That is textbook man up pressure transition. I mean, that's just beautiful passing. Just wherever a McGill player had to rotate away from, you just go to the guy who's open.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful tic-tac-toe passing on the odd man rush. McGill with next to no chance with beautiful feeds on that there. And McGill just continually to look up at this scoreboard, and this game slowly just slipping out of their hands. Might almost be not yet, because we know McGill, the way that they can play offense, but just how good this defense has been for the Mustangs. The hill's starting to look almost too tall to climb.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at the sheer math of it, and obviously McGill can try and generate something. They can get things going. We know they can score, but when you have one goal in 58 minutes and you need 6 in the final 22, the numbers are not in your favor. There's Tanner Baldwin continuing to hang on to the ball. He's got Jackson Rakosi covering him. He's just going to shoot it and score. Baldwin with the elongated long pole hold, and finally says, fine, I'll just let her go.
And you could tell the bench, you could hear them telling Bull Sterling and Baldwin, stay. Obviously, offensively, nothing's really working right now for your midfielders intact. Why not?
Go with the China approach.
Exactly. And Baldwin just unloads a great shot from the outside, but Bull Sterling also sets that pick to free up some space and allow Baldwin to take that shot.
And Bull Sterling is up there to take the face-off now.
I've seen him do that last draw as well.
And he hooks it away from Rakosi. That's a great draw by Oliver Bolsterly. And some momentum for McGill. Can they build on that second goal with possession late in the third quarter? Patrick Turner runs himself out of trouble. Sees a little bit of an opening. Starts to go. Moriyama takes the angle away. Obadia up top. We're used to seeing him attack from X. He is way up high this time and has the ball with 28 seconds to go in the quarter. McDonald. There's a hard sidearm rip, but Chase just misses it high and wide. 10 seconds to go. McGill's got another chance. And Max Murdoch's just going to run out of time on that play. The third quarter will expire. The score 7-2 in favor of the Western Mustangs. I am Steven Stamp. Thank you, lacrosse friends, for being with us on this Lacrosse TV presentation of the 2018 Baggataway Cup. This broadcast is copyright by Lacrosse TV and KUFLA. No rebroadcast or retransmission is allowed without express written consent of the parties broadcasting. We'll take a break. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with the fourth quarter. Welcome back, lacrosse friends. We're underway. It's the fourth quarter of the second semifinal at the 2018 Baggataway Cup here on Lacrosse TV. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire and Austin Haber trying to run through Tanner Balden, who forces the turnover. Great effort by Balden, who's been, I'd say, the best player on the field tonight. I know Western's winning 7-2, but Balden's been fantastic, and he catches this long pass. Is he going to go get another one? Passes it to Obadia. And Balden staying up. The China reference I was making is I was at the World Championships in Israel this summer in China. I did a couple of their games, and they'd always send a long pole up. They had some guys who were very good. One player from Princeton who would go up. They had another guy who would go up. They'd just stick a long pole in the high slot and just run things off of it. And it was very interesting. So Balden staying up there kind of reminded me of that. This is McDonald with it. Back to Turner. Hard rip in their goal. McGill gets the first of the fourth quarter. Andrew Chase makes it 7-3, just a minute into this final frame.
Couldn't have asked for a better start for McGill, and it all starts with Tanner Balden making that great play in his own end, moving the ball up, getting his offensive players the ball, and they score. And now you look at the score. The that's one real huge thing about that you can take is that McGill's defense has played so strong, allowing Western not to pull away. They have kept them in this game the whole time.
And Western's not going to panic. They'll just respond. Great face-off battle. The ball pops. There's penalty coming. It's going to be Byrne heading off. And McGill will get possession and a man advantage. Jeremy Talevy is a fiery competitor. We see him just fired up. But he maintains a very calm and composed bench.
Yeah, he does. He really allows his team to stay calm, cool, and collected. Never get too high, never too low.
We mentioned that Talevy in his 19th season as the coach at Western, Tim Murdoch, 16th season coaching McGill. These are a pair of institutions in this league. Of course, the schools I'm talking about as well, but Talevy and Murdoch in particular.
Absolutely.
Patience around the outside for McGill as they try to probe and set up. There's the sidearm rip by Chase, and Obadia had to jump out of the way of that shot as it almost decapitated him. Obadia starts the play, goes up to Murdoch. Moving around, the sidearm shot is blocked. I think that was Nix that got in the way of that one. Najjar pouncing on the ball and raking it back to himself. Will hand it off to Crowley.
Starting to see the confidence get back into this McGill offense. We're seeing their midfielders and their attackmen take some shots from a little more of the perimeter.
Remember, McGill had a strong second half last year in the semifinal, particularly the third quarter, but sometimes the effort of coming back from a deficit like that can wear you down a bit and leave you ripe for a counterpunch, and Western is adept at exactly that. Simeone taking his time, watched by Plant. Great check by Plant. Just knocked the ball loose and it's grabbed by Bolsterly. He's going for a run. Subtle movements by Bolsterly to get through everyone. Oh, and he just is going to hand the ball over. May have held on to it just a bit too long with the pressure closing in. That's just trying too hard, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to play
so badly to help his team.
Yeah, you got to play within yourself. Like you said, held on to the ball just a little too long. You delay, roll out, find an offensive player, just slow things down. You're not going to tie the game with one goal. You can't go for that home run play. You got to still play smart, play within yourself.
I remember hearing one of the old-time baseball managers saying, if you're down by 4, you got to take them one at a time. You can't hit a 5-run homer. Same thing, you can't score a 4-point goal here. Cole Davis is flattened by Bolsterly just before the ball gets there, and that will be possession. Western gets it back. There's Davis with a goal, his 4th of the game. We were talking at the break about how he kind of disappeared a bit since his hat trick to open the game, and boy, that was a beautiful finish. Beautiful finish,
and you could count for a long time how long Davis was all alone by himself, but still, for whatever reason, McGill not picking him up. We've seen him blast the ball from the outside. This time, he gets a goal from in tight. Shows that not only does he have a booming shot, he's got some slick mitts too.
Yeah, Davis held on to the ball longer than Aaron Rodgers has it before he passes. Sometimes Rodgers has it for about 15 seconds. Tom Brady might be a more accurate one. He'll get the ball out in like 1.3 seconds at times when they put the clock on him. Oh, nifty little move by Bolsterly there. The toe drag through pressure. And then he hands it over Obadia. Penalty coming. Timeout called by McGill. Slashing call. So a great chance for the Redmen. Interesting that they took the timeout now. I'm not sure. I think the call may have been made for the timeout before the penalty flag landed, because you would think with the penalty coming, you'd want to wait.
Yeah.
Go to the man up, try and get the goal, take the timeout, and have a chance to continue on the man advantage. But I think the call had already been made.
I think you're exactly right with that one.
It's a bit of a tough break for McGill if that's the case, but they're going to get together and chat about it.
You mentioned Cole Davis, 4 goals on the night. Rowan Kelly, a goal and 3 assists now as well, so 4 points for him.
Yeah, he's been very good. The coaching staffs for Western, Jeremy Levy, as we mentioned, the head coach. The assistants, Chris Tandish, Colin Holbrow, Scott Watson, and Dan Strickland. And on the other side, Tim Murdoch, assisted by Nick Subry, Simon Hudson, Anders Biella, who was a player for McGill for several years. Scored some huge goals for them. Tim Murdoch, we were talking to him, he said, Anders Biella, 7 goals, reminding us of the time that Anders Biella had that 7-goal game, and it was spectacular. It was gorgeous.
It's great to see these Kufla alumni stay at school, or you know, when they're doing maybe a grad program, or even just coming back after they've graduated and coach, not just as head coaches, but like we see with Bella, as an assistant coach. And it's really great to see the guys giving back to the game.
And Tim Murdoch's one of the most energetic and positive guys you'll know. I think Nick Subry may one-up him on both. He's a very energetic guy. It's fun just talking to them because they get you fired up. There's Max Murdoch. Gets it back. Pass down. Hard rip. Low to high. Just missing for Andrew Chase. McGill gets the ball back. They're still on the man up. Murdoch. Watched by Moriyama. There's a goal. Doesn't miss this time. And it's 8-4. The Redmen creeping back in.
Slowly creeping in, and I've mentioned it before, but the confidence levels through the roof right now for the Redmen. We're seeing their shooters finally take those shots. And even when they do miss the net, they go back, get another chance and take the shot. Like you said, that first one just missing the corner. So they go back and try it again. This time they tickle twine.
And Tim Murdoch using the face-off pause as an impromptu or unofficial timeout, gathering his team together. He is, I mean, he's a pretty American guy. He said he loves being in Canada. He's been here for a long time. His wife, Pascal, is Canadian. And there's 2 flags on the field. He loves Canada, but he's got that kind of football, American pump-em-up mentality to an extent. He likes to get his players raring to go. There's another flag. We'll see how these are adjudicated. The officials are all going to get together and see what everyone's got. A procedure call is at least one of them. So Bolsterly is over, sitting in the chair. Has he got... I think the first 2 flags were for the same foul.
Yes.
Were they not? Yeah. And then there's a second procedure foul. Eric Van Hees has gone over to join him. And Cody Ward wastes no time in the 6-on-4 to make it 9-4. That's a huge goal for the Western Mustangs.
Huge goal for the Mustangs. Very deflating for McGill. Every time it seems like they're starting to gain momentum, there's that counterpunch that you talked about. And a huge goal from Ward, his second of the evening. This Western team just inching closer and closer to their 3rd consecutive Baggataway Cup appearance.
Winning the last 2, of course. Last year, 16-14 in overtime against the Brock Badgers, who await the winner of this game. Cozy gets the ball off the faceoff. This year, Western and Brock, if you're starting to look ahead a little bit, split their games.
Actually, that's my mistake. It would be their 4th appearance. They lost the year before they won the 2.
That was to McGill?
Yes.
Yes. Up in Sherbrooke, in Lennoxville, right?
Yes, was.
Yeah. Home in the Bishop's Gators. Byrne hanging on to it. Baldwin trying to separate the ball. What an effort by Byrne. He gets it loose. The timeout is called. Jeremy Talevy had seen enough of Tanner Baldwin working over his man. He knew that ball was coming out pretty soon.
Another very, very well-timed timeout call from the Western bench. Jeremy Talevy, we talked about it, all that experience.
puts it to good use.
Absolutely.
When Western and Brock met on September 22nd in St. Catharines, Western pulled out the 8-7 win. They met once again on October the 21st. That one was taken by Brock 10-9 in London. So you can't be a whole lot closer than a one-goal game each way. And, of course, last year, the championship game into overtime, 16-14 Western winning. So if Western holds on, as it's looking very much like they will with this 9-4 lead with 11:37 to play, you have to anticipate we're going to have a great game.
Absolutely. And I believe the second game, which Brock did win, was also in overtime as well. So these two teams are so close. You talked about how the tiebreaker was within, just what did you say the number was? It was
I think it was .006,
which is
It
ridiculous.
was really, they were a one-goal game each, a 10-9 and a 9-8. So it basically the goal average formula comes into play, and I don't even. Basically, the team that won the higher scoring game by one goal was going to wind up ahead. Because goals for are slightly more valued in that formula.
But of course, obviously, McGill still 11 minutes and 37 seconds to muster up a comeback here. But as we said, it's so tough when Western just every single time it seems like McGill's going to start to put in a comeback. Western has that counterpunch.
We'll start with possession with Michael Byrne, watched by Bolsterly. It was overtime, as it was 8-8 going into the extra frame in that last regular season game, and a couple of goals in the extra frame for Brock. Here's Nick Ferris. He scored in that overtime game, in the overtime for Western. He got their goal there. Davis Neal got one for Brock, and we saw him leave the game today, limp off the field, so it'll be interesting. We'll have to see if he's able to go tomorrow. That'd be a big factor for them.
For sure.
They rely on him for some of their offense.
I will say, though, Tyrus Rohanek did a pretty good job replacing him, and that's just the beauty of having some depth at the attack, midfield, or even defense position.
Tequila running over to the far side with Plant on him. Western being patient, up by 5, nearing the midway point here in the fourth quarter. Play is blown down as there's a Western player shaken up. Can't quite see who it is because there's that little huddle of McGill players. Can you see around it? You're just a bit to the right of me.
I still can't see it, no.
10:26 to go as we have this stoppage. Reminder, this copyright broadcast.
Oh, it's Jonathan. Sorry.
It's Jonathan Tiwa, yeah. This broadcast copyright by Canadian University Field Lacrosse Association and Lacrosse TV. No reproduction or retransmission allowed without express written permission. Thank you so much, Lacrosse friends, for being with us over here on Lacrosse Television, Lacrosse TV. Ferris gets away from that wrap check attempt. He's got Hebert all over him. Hebert pitchforks him to the ground, and Ferris just pops back up, hangs onto the ball through the whole process. Big swing by Hebert, and Ferris just ducks that one. The other 5 Western players in the attacking zone just spreading way out, a big umbrella. They do have Stephen Walsh, I think that is. Oh, that's Haber over on the far side. Didn't think Walsh would suddenly be appearing. It looked like a 21 for a second. Actually, I think it may have been Cole Davis on the far side. And Western gets it back with the hard ride. And Cody Ward with the ball. Lofts one across to Ferris. Almost picked off by Bolsterly, who manages to throw on the brakes and stay with Ferris. Helicopters the stick out of the hands of Ferris. Bolsterly gets it. Makes a great pass with Ferris all over him. And here's a chance for Baldwin. Almost had his second of the game. What an opportunity. If I'm Tim Murdoch, I'm telling Tanner Baldwin to just stay out there and stay in the offensive zone.
He's been unbelievable, but Oliver Bull-Sturley, he's been great as well. That helicopter check to strip the ball right out of the hands and transition it up, get it to Baldwin. But those two defenders have been outstanding for McGill tonight.
There's a chance in the middle for Murdoch. Great job, though, to get out on him. I'm not sure if that was A.J. Skirving or if it was Hayden Nix that got to his stick. Again, you never know. There's going to be likely more than one Western Mustang on you when you try to take a shot. McDonald fighting through the check, but Byrne working hard. Shovel pass. It's going to get away. Murdoch tries to save it. It's just a little bit too far, and it'll be Mustang's ball.
Again, Mustang's so good. As soon as a McGill Redmond head turns, that slide's coming. And it's a good job there by Mike Byrne as well to stay on the defense as well.
I love that point, the way you put it, that they're so aware. I mean, they work as a unit, and it is when your head turns, when you aren't able to see where they are. You can have your head on a swivel, but the moment it's gone is when they're going to come. Mm-hmm. Great check there. Oh, I think we're going to have an offside. Oh, it's going to be the push in the back is the call. And Patrick Turner is going to go and sit. And he's very upset that he took that penalty. That's just enthusiasm, just going hard after the ball. You need that possession. They knew it. They went hard. Here's Davis. He's got 4. Ferris will rip that one. Stopped by Gallo. Cody Ward is there to grab that ground ball. Ferris thought about the shot, but it's going to be ripped instead there by Kelly. I believe that went off Gallo and then off the crossbar and up into the net. Pass from behind the net. Davis thought about taking the shot, wisely chooses not to, as he had pressure coming immediately. Ferris to Tequila. Davis with some pressure from Brendan Byrne. He eludes it nicely. 4 goals for Davis, carrying the ball now as the clock ticks inexorably away for McGill. Western creeping closer and closer to their 4th straight Baggataway Cup championship game. Stall goes on, and Ward, I think, was out of the box when he caught that pass, so he can run back in. Can't go out now.
Yep.
Finds the open man. That's a very alert play to just toss the ball out of trouble to Nick Ferris, who'd made himself open. Bolsterly on him. Gallo is out pressuring on Tequila. Almost got to that pass. Now Mullen on Tequila. McGill's got to come in pressure. That's Gallo out. The net is open. Western doesn't want to score. Kelly's just going to lob it behind the net. They're happy to keep the clock ticking. At some point, with 6 minutes to go, they may put one in the net. And honestly, when you've got Jackson Rakosi, I know Gardier is good, but yeah, Rowan Kelly's going to put that in and jump up over the edge of the crease.
What a game for Rowan Kelly. 2 goals, 3 assists.
Mm-hmm. He's been great.
He's been fantastic, and especially the way he started the game, too. Had a couple of bad turnovers, very uncharacteristic for a veteran player like Kelly. But then that's just the icing on the cake, putting away that basically empty netter goal.
Yeah, David Pelliccioni coming in to play net, the third year economics student from Woodbridge, Ontario, basically to use some quickness and get out of pressure and go with the 10-man ride. See what you can do. I mean, you got to do something. 10-4 for Western with 5 minutes and change in this 4th quarter.
Pelcioni, another one of those St. Mike's products.
So we're looking at back-to-back West versus West Baggataway Cup Championship Finals. Last year's was so exciting. Josh Harris with that late pole goal to force overtime. And 16-14, the Mustangs win that. Great team effort. We're looking ahead to some more exciting play tomorrow. 1 o'clock here on Lacrosse TV. I'm Steven Stamp. I'll have the call for you, along with Pat Gregoire. And boy, we've done a bunch of these, and it is so much fun to do this Baggataway Cup and see these great Kufla players. It's
an unbelievable tournament. There's always so many classic games, like we saw last year. That final was outstanding. What we saw today was unbelievable as well. But all over the years, you get to see so many great venues as well, including Varsity Stadium here. And the folks at U of T have done a fantastic job putting on this tournament.
Yeah, Jill Clark and her team here. She's the SID, or the Sports Information Coordinator, I think she's called here. Just fantastic. She's been in touch for months, at least weeks, and probably months leading up to this tournament.
Yeah.
Taking care of all the details. And honestly, the hospitality and the work that this group is doing here to put on the tournament has just been outstanding. Rakosi clamps down Bolsterly, trying to swat it out, and he does now. But it's going to go out of play, and he can't quite get there. He was hustling after it. Crowley has the ball, just retreats into his own end. Turner pressuring him. Najjar will take that pass. Crowley gets it back from Najjar. Stahl is on Western. John Kitt with it. He's going to try and run past Obadia. Runs into Mullen. But is able to get it past, and Western sets up. You see David Pelliccioni, number 4, the goalie, is out picking up Tequila, getting right in his face. Tequila pops loose and gets flattened, or at least stood up by Connor Plant. And they're going to strip it away from him, but Tequila, dives. The ball goes out off of him. He actually had plenty of time to just run and pick the ball up. I'm not sure if he was losing his balance or why he dove there, but it will turn the ball over and give McGill a chance. He looks a little shaken up.
He did go off earlier in this fourth quarter. But it looks like he is okay now.
Yeah. Penalty coming to Western. I think for not backing away.
Yep.
Yeah, so Tequila. He had the stick up in the one hand, ready to chop down and try and knock it loose. Kind of a martial arts pose with that stick up like that. So McGill into the offensive zone. Chase. They've got 3:10. The clock will go. The stadium clock will stop in the final 3 minutes, which we enter now. So we're not going to see that time ticking away. Just doesn't seem like, even if we can't see it, it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough for McGill. Pops away from McKay there. Skirving, nice job to hang on to his stick. Tries to tap it ahead to himself. It's grabbed there by McDonald. Bounce pass, Turner. Going to the net. Great job by Haber. Oh, takes the hold. Maybe not a great job, a good job. And McGill gets one. That's Liam McDonald. Stop the clock with the goal, making it 10-5. Still a pretty tall mountain to climb, but quite as tall now.
Oh, it's a little bit shorter now. And McDonald, what a tournament he's had so far. Hat-trick last game. Another few points here tonight. He's been one player that's been very consistent for what's been, I guess you could say, an inconsistent performance by this McGill offense.
So into the final 3 minutes. Rakosi, Bolsterly at the face-off dot. Remember, tomorrow, 1 p.m. will be the championship game. The Brock Badgers, most likely against the Western Mustangs, in a reprise of last year's title game matchup. But McGill is within 5, and they've got the ball again. There's Turner. Watched by Moriyama. Obadia spins through traffic. The ball finally pops loose. Haber can't quite get it. Rakosi couldn't. Goes to Obadia. He can't handle the ball. It's bouncing everywhere. Eventually it's tracked down by McDonald, who just scored. He's going to run in. Thought about a shot, thought about a pass. Now he's going to go behind GLE. Obadia with the nice catch. And the rip saved by Najjar. Oh, Murdoch off the post. Another chance. Saved by Najjar. What a game Manny Najjar's having, too.
Yeah, we've talked about all the offensive performances by the Western Mustangs, but Najjar has been such a great rock back there making stops when this defense does falter.
Western up into the offensive zone. It's grabbed by Baldwin. McGill refusing to give up. They drive up the field once again. Andrew Chase leaves it there. A chance for McDonald. What an effort by Hayden Nix to get right on him, though, and take away the chance. Chase tracks it down. Crowley out on him. Flip pass back to the trail. McKay fights through traffic. Room for McDonald to shoot. Misses the net. Obadia. Kit stands him up, then knocks him down. Pops the ball loose. Tries to grab it. Flag coming. Is that on Kit? Yeah. He's going to head to the penalty area. Play blown back in. Clock starts. Continues to tick towards the end. Murdoch. There's McDonald. To Murdoch. Rips it. Just misses. Patrick Turner will get a fresh start and a new ball. Spinning shot by Obadia. I think Najjar got a little bit of that, and then it heads up off the crossbar and out of play. There's a goal. They keep pushing McGill, trying to get back into it. I don't know if they're going to have time, but it's a nice, resilient effort.
McDonald again with another goal. He's just having himself an outstanding tournament. You got to wonder, why was McGill not taking these outside shots that we saw that they're taking now? It seems like they were maybe trying to pick the perfect shot in the first half and even in that third quarter, but in the fourth we've seen them take a lot more takes from the outside.
Mercosi going after the ball while he hooks Bolsterly's stick under his left arm. Still loose, grabbed by Mullen. Oh, what a job by Skirving to just knock that ball away, but it comes out to Turner. McGill pressing, Turner loses the ball, swatted away by the Western defender, but it's going to go back to McGill. Bolsterly has it. Obadia, or that's Brendan Byrne wanted the ball, gets the shot, but misses, and it will be Western possession. McGill didn't have anyone behind the net. And Manny Najjar's just going to stand down there until McGill comes and pressures him. And that will do it. The final whistle blows. The final score will be the Western Mustangs 10, the McGill Redmen 6. Western and Brock, a rematch tomorrow at 1 p.m. in the Baggataway Cup Championship game here on Lacrosse TV.
Last year, it was one of the most entertaining lacrosse games I've ever seen in my life, and I have a feeling we're in for another tight battle. Both teams played each other as tight as they can be. One goal game, one going into overtime. These two teams do not like each other. Tomorrow is going to be another instant classic.
I think that's fair to say. Grudging respect.
Yes.
They may have, but definitely not a lot of love between the two programs. Tim Louie, the coach for Brock, Jeremy Levy, the coach for Western, will try to get their teams raring to go. And it balances out. I mean, Brock having to play the two games already this weekend, but the earlier game today, so they get a little bit more rest. Western, the later game, but of course, just the one game.
Yep, exactly.
So I don't know there's much of an edge there to be had either way.
Yep. It's for this Redmond team, and Tim Murdoch's clan here has to be, proud with the effort they gave here today. Obviously, just not enough, not a consistent enough effort, but only one player is graduating. Yeah. So this almost entire team is back next year, and you got to have a feeling that they're going to be back, and they're going to be even more hungry than they were this year.
Yeah, they'll be very good. The Baggataway Cup goes to the east next year. Does alternate between the divisions. I would, if I had to put money on who's going to host it, I know the bids don't go until the AGM. I would say McGill, a very likely candidate. A strong team, great organizational committee. Tim Murdoch puts a ton of effort into it.
Yeah.
Earl Zuckerman, the sports information director up at McGill, does a great job. He came up with a lot of the research. There's a story on the KUFLA site, kufla.ca, that I put together about the Western and Toronto history of those franchises, those programs, which is just typical of Earl Zuckerman digging, finding the interesting stuff, getting out. And then Joe Nizic, I was talking to him and I said, thank you so much for sending those pictures. You'll see what I'm talking about, pictures of the 1897 and 1907 championship teams from the University of Toronto. But I mean, and Joe Nizic said, I've got a lot more too. There's some cool stuff around.
Awesome.
But McGill, great season once again for them, and they are building towards something. But
Absolutely.
McGill, or Western and Brock tomorrow.
It's going to be a great one.
Tom Bolesky once again will present a lacrosse shaft to the player of the game for each team. We had a hard decision on one side of this equation. For McGill, it was not a hard decision.
No.
Tanner Baldwin was very close to the player of the game yesterday. He was fantastic today.
Oh, he was unbelievable, doing everything. Just pushing the ball in transition, playing outstanding defense, and even scored. He had a couple of chances offensively as well.
On the other side is where the decision was tough. I mean, you're looking at Austin Haber was fantastic. We were thinking Manraj Najjar for a while. He was great. The goaltender, Cody Ward, so good.
Yep.
Stepping up in big moments
Exactly.
for his team. But the guy who winds up being the player with 4 goals, number 22, Cole Davis.
Yeah, Cole Davis.
He was pretty huge, and he contributed in other ways for them as well.
Yeah, of course. The 3 goals in the first quarter really established some confidence for his team, and then he scores that other goal, which was really allowed Western to keep their confidence in that fourth. But another one that we didn't mention was Rowan Kelly as well. I thought he had a fantastic game.
He was great. He might have been the second choice. Any of them. I mean, they were so good. That'll do it for today here on Lacrosse TV. 1 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday, November the 11th. Remember, at 11 o'clock, to take your moment of silence in respect for all those who have served and paid the ultimate price for our freedom. And then at 1 o'clock, join us for the gold medal championship game at the 2018 Baggataway Cup from the University of Toronto's Varsity Stadium here on Lacrosse TV. I'm Stephen Stamp on behalf of Pat Gregoire and everyone else here bringing you these games. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow.